Expect the best used car deals guaranteed. Visit arnoldclark.com.
Welcome to Peter and Ruffy's Football Show, sponsored by Arnold Clark. It is Friday. I'm Peter Martin. Thank you very much for your support on the programme day to day, Monday to Friday, and at the end of the week. As ever, Alan Ruff and Barry Ferguson are with me here in the studio as we get ready to look ahead to a Saturday and a Sunday in the Premiership. Yeah, just before we look ahead to the weekend's football, Saturday and Sunday, let's look back 24 hours because it looked as if it was going to be a very positive point for Rangers against Young Boys in Switzerland. But in the end, Barry, there was a late sickener in this one.
Yeah, I think a point would have been probably a justified result. But I'd probably say two errors in Rangers' part. They'll be disappointed. Certainly the first one, Tavernier just got to clear his lines, whether that's into the stand or up the line. And then the second one, it's just a header straight through the middle of the defence. So disappointing for Rangers. I don't think they were outplayed with Young Boys. I don't think there was much to worry about. But to come away from that game with no points, there'll be a lot of anger and disappointment in that dressing room. It
is such a tight group when you look at how it all stands now. After that late win there for Young Boys. They are up there with Feyenoord, Rangers, Porto, everybody with 3 points. Suddenly home games become also important. I just wonder, how do you feel that late winner for Young Boys will affect the group? The mistakes by Tavernier, could it come back to haunt Rangers?
Well, if you're away, any game in Europe, you get a point, you're delighted. Jumping back on the plane and getting back to Glasgow. Home, you've got to get 3 points, certainly in home games. So that'll be the big frustration for Rangers when it was there for them to come away with a point. As I says, I thought it was a pretty even game. I don't think there was much to worry about, but it was interesting to see the manager's press conference after the game. He highlighted a couple of games towards the end of the season, highlighted the Old Firm game, that silly mistakes are costing Rangers in the big games, and it's clear that it's something that the manager spoke to the team about, and it happened again last night. Sometimes, as I said, sometimes you just got to put your laces through it and get rid of the ball. I think there's a big onus on teams trying to play the ball out for defence. Sometimes just defend first and foremost and deal with it after that.
Is it time for Tavernier to be benched? I mean, I'm hearing all sorts of stupid criticism towards the boy.
Yeah, I think that's ridiculous. Look, he's had a bad night. He's made a couple of mistakes. I don't think his general play was poor. I thought he did pretty well. Obviously the mistakes get highlighted, but I think too many people are jumping the gun with saying he should get dropped and should lose his captaincy and whatever. I think that's just crazy.
Yeah, OK. Across the city, well, Celtic Park was bouncing. There was revenge in the air. And boy, did they take it out in Cluj, Ruffy. Celtic 2-0.
Yeah, they certainly came out of the traps. The pace that they played it was absolutely amazing. I think it took everybody by surprise. I was at the Hibs game at the weekend there, and they certainly upped their game. They seem to have that ability when they come into the big games, you know, the ones that really, really matter. They've got certain players on the side who just up their game. And Christie, for me, was just unplayable. You know, everything he did.
Didn't win the game by more. You know, functioning as a team, there was real solidity about us and a fluidity going forward. And we looked really strong. And I thought we thoroughly deserved the win.
There's all sorts of positive performances, people raving about Brown's performance. Elyounoussi popped up with a goal, Ruffy. And again, people just talking about James Forrest. When you look back over 10 seasons, he's very complimentary about Neil Lennon and his contribution to his career. I just wonder, where does he rank in Celtic's best ever players when you look back over the decade?
Well, I think we all remember when he came into the team as a young boy, you know, and year on year he's just got better and better. And I think he'll be there for a longer. You know, I think he's one of these guys who just wants to hang about. And I have to be honest that he wasn't the best player on the park last night.
Yeah.
And the reason for that was there was another 9 of them were so good that, you know, his performance fell into significance because the rest of them were all absolutely superb.
Yeah, and the manager thinks there's more to come.
I thought we were good in rain, you know, under the circumstances. So, you know, Rangers away was a great performance as well. So I'm getting great performances from the team. I think there's more to come. You know, like I said that to the players afterwards. I think we've got the makings of a good side. It's embryonic in the season. We know that. We're not getting carried away, but I'm absolutely thrilled. I'm delighted for the supporters as well to see, you know, European football back here and a good performance from the team, which was exciting, and we created a lot of chances.
Hindsight's a wonderful thing, Barry, but you look back and you think, Callum McGregor at left back, no ball and goalie, no Julian the first time they played. You just wonder what might have been had they maybe threw those players in, even although the manager admitted they weren't ready.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the ones. I think the manager made it clear. Both the players that you mentioned, ball and goalie, and Julian weren't ready. Simple fact in, they were late bringing them in the transfer window. You've got to give players a bit of time, Peter. You've got to get them to know their players, their new teammates, what the club's all about. But now you're seeing why Neil Lennon signed. Certainly Julian at centre-back, to me, looks if he could be a top centre-half. And the Celtic I watched last night, I seen the highlights, just like that team full of confidence. They were at it for the word go. I don't know what Neil Lennon done to them since the game against Livingston at the weekend, but Celtic looked a team on fire last night.
Top of the group, Ruffy, as you can see, and suddenly you're saying to yourself, you know, they're in the box seat at the moment. Who would you say are the favourites to win this group? It's still tight.
Yeah, you've got to look at Lazio, I think. I think they've got the pedigree. That league that they play in is very competitive. I think Neil knows that the away games are going to be really, really important. That's what we're saying about Rangers. And he'll be happy, you know, to go away and pick up a point away from home, because I'm sure he will believe that they'll win all their home games.
Yeah, no surprise that the Cluj boss, Dan Petrescu, has his own thoughts on who he thinks are the favourites for the group.
I was very disappointed when I see the draw, that we draw Celtic, and I was sure that it's difficult for us. But it is football. Our victory was better than this victory, because when we won, we qualify. Now Celtic win, but they didn't qualify. Then we still have 4 games. We still have a chance. For me, Celtic and Lazio are the big favorites. Normally they should go through, but in football you can see many surprises.
Yep, still a few twists and turns in both groups for Celtic and Rangers. You can give us your thoughts on YouTube and across social media on how you see the Europa League going this season. Here's how Celtic and Rangers fitted into the other Europa League results involving British clubs. Good win for Wolves in Turkey against Besiktas. Still Manchester United at this moment firing blanks, and questions still surround Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and what he's doing there at Old Trafford. 0-0 there. Young boys confirmation of that late winner, 2-1 against Rangers. Celtic winning against Cluj, and Arsenal, Ruffy, 4-0 winners over Standard Liège. And the English press and the English fans suddenly are in amazement at a Scottish person who can play, who looks absolutely top drawer.
Yeah, it was really, really noticeable from the commentators every time he had that mazy run. They couldn't believe what they were seeing, you know, but we've been seeing it for the last 2 or 3 years, and he was absolutely superb. Unfortunately, he was outshone a wee bit by the 18-year-old Brazilian boy. I can't even remember his name, but he had a great night. I mean, it just shows you know, that the players that we have can get down to that English Premiership and hold their own quite easily.
Yeah, I was surprised none of the tabloids down south, Barry, just went for a headline, Scottish player amazes people by being able to play football.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating. We all know. I mean, he showed his qualities. We all know he could do it domestically, but when he played in Europe, Kieran Tierney showed that he could play the game. And I've got no fears when Arsenal come in and paid 25 million. It'll take him a wee bit of time to settle. Obviously, he had his injury, but in time, he'll be a top player down in the Premier League.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're talking world class after three games, Ruffy. Honestly, the world's gone mad, to be perfectly honest with you. But nevertheless, we wish him well. He's a brilliant lad. He's so grounded. But that's what happens, Barry, when you come from Lanarkshire. When you're brought up in that area, you just keep your feet on the ground. None of that Knightswood nonsense or anything like that. You know, delusions of grandeur.
Yeah, we're a different breed, Lanarkshire people.
Absolutely. And if you are from Lanarkshire, you know what we're talking about. Okay, here's the answer to our quiz. Well done to David Mann. PLZ T-shirt in your team's favourite colours will be on its way to you, and we'll have a quiz next week. Excuse me, and we'll also have details of some exciting news for our podcast, as well as other competitions on the way that I think you are certainly going to enjoy. So here's the fixtures for the weekend as we switch our attentions to domestic football. Aberdeen against Hibs is huge. Hearts against Kilmarnock, Motherwell St Mirren, Ross County against St Johnstone. You've got Livingston against Celtic on the Sunday at 12 o'clock, and Rangers take on Hamilton at 3 o'clock on the Sunday. So lots to talk about. Just on that point, Rangers, you know, they'll be disappointed. They'll want to bounce back. They'll know exactly what they have to do again after Celtic kick off in the early match. Yep. They've won 6 out of the last 7 in the league. So you know they've got the capabilities to not let that late defeat against Young Boys affect them. Yeah,
look, they can't let it affect them, as simple as that. Because I think Celtic will go to Livingston and win the game. Because their confidence is sky high. So Rangers, they can't start feeling sorry for themselves. I'm sure the manager will be on them today in training and on Saturday, and they need to go out there against Hamilton and win. As simple as that. No matter how they play, you just get 3 points. That's the main thing. I mean, what obstacle, if any, could Hamilton put in their way? They've only had, 2 wins, 2 draws out of the last 7 games. Have they got that element of surprise for you, Ruffy?
I don't think so, not at Ibrox. You know, they'll go there and try and make it difficult for Rangers. But I think if Rangers were to get an early goal, I think they'll run out quite easily winners in that one.
Okay, we know it's head-to-head. Barry's closing the gap now. He's actually just starting to motor. Ruffy, you're obviously there because of the graphic, because it needs a third head there. You just have 2 heads in the head-to-head, and then you, just to make sure there's not a black screen. But as far as the game's going, I'm going 3-0 Rangers, Ruffy.
Yeah, I'm going 3-0 Rangers as well.
Oh.
I'm going 4.
Barry, brilliant. It's always a goals glut for Barry. What about Celtic? Because strangely enough, Ruffy, Livingston, I'm going to go to this game, take in Motherwell on the Saturday, go to this one, because I'm curious to see how Celtic take on a certain style of football you know you're going to get from Livingston.
Yeah, and everybody that says when they go to Livingston, they know it's got a difficult place to win. You know, sort of the free kicks, corners you've got to deal with, something you don't have to deal with your own bit. The surface obviously comes into it as well, and it just remains to be seen with a pool of players. I mean, I was watching the Celtic substitutes warming up at half time, and they've got enough there. They've got enough if he wants to shuffle it, to come for any of them to come in, because they all know if they get a chance to get in, it could be, if they don't get in, they could be out for a long time.
Yeah, well, here's my take on this one. I'm going Livingston 1, Celtic 3. I think Livy will get a goal, if only for the fact that I always think they're capable from a set piece. They've got real danger at times in height and physical presence.
Yep, they are, but I look at Celtic. Celtic are quite a physical team now. They've got good size about them, and certainly the 2 centre-halves, Edward up top, so I don't think it will affect them. I think Celtic, as I said, full of confidence. I think they'll go there and win 2-0.
Okay. There's never a week goes by without us talking about someone who's moving to the front in the sack race. And this week, suddenly, from nowhere, people starting to look towards Derek McInnes, because, you know, Hearts and Hibs seem to have stemmed the flow of calls for their heads of Heckingbottom and Levine. Alessio's allayed some of the fears. Now Derek McInnes, if he'd to lose 3 games in a row, suddenly people really would start to growl.
Yep, he's been getting a bit of stick, and I'm sure it'll be hurting him. And I think all week in training, he'll be putting that towards the players. It's up to the players now. He'll select a team, I think, that will go out and go for Hibs, because as you says, I think he does need to get this win to get a few people off his back. I think it's crazy, if I'm being honest with you. I think he's done a really good job up there since he's became manager. As I says, every season he's got to change quite a number of players. He's going through a difficult patch just now, but I think he'll come through it.
Yeah, I mean, Scott McKenna, Andrew Considine could be back, so some of the injury worries that he had just starting to lighten a little on this one, Ruffy. But at home, you would think good enough to beat a Hibs side that undoubtedly will get the confidence from the draw against Celtic.
Yeah, a team like Aberdeen can't afford to have 7 or 8 players, because they haven't got enough to bring in of the same quality. So he needs as many of his good players back. I just feel that as the other managers have proved, Levine and Heckingbottom, when the chips are down, they tend to come up with a result that takes the pressure off them. And I think Aberdeen will do that at the weekend.
I've got 2-1, Ruffy. What about yourself?
I've got 2-1 as well.
All right, okay.
I've got 2-0 Aberdeen. I think he'll get a big reaction.
Okay, there you are. That's a huge reaction. I always get worried when managers suddenly start comparing their players to fantastic players, because then we can all start laughing heartily and think, come on now, don't put the pressure on. I can still hear the echoes of Billy McNeil calling Stevie Fulton Baggio, and boy did that nickname stick with him. And I think, to be honest with you, when I look back over Stevie Fulton's career, it was a great career, a career that people would have, some players would have died for, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yep.
Now Stuart Finley's being compared to Juventus legend Chiellini. Is Angelo Alessio just heaped some amount of pressure on him?
No, I don't know if he's phrased that right. I think he's maybe trying to get him to look like Chiellini. Maybe he's not thinking he is Chiellini, hopefully. But, I think you've got to build players' confidence up in games, and that'll certainly give him a wee, G up. He's in the Scotland squad as well, so why not?
Yeah, I'm worried about that. Is there ever a player that you came across, Barry, that you played alongside, there was a wee nickname for them that suddenly you thought, you'll never live up to that?
I don't think any of the managers that I played under done that. It's going to be hard. Look, he's an experienced campaigner, the boy. I think he'll just take that with a pinch of salt. Because he is a big player for Kilmarnock. Yeah. I mean, he is a leader at the back. But to compare him to the boy at Juventus, now he's world class.
You don't want to say Chiellini because you've heard Ruffy.
I know.
Well, you've heard Ruffy destroy that name.
He was calling him
listen, he'll be chocolate ice cream by the time he's finished with him. By the way, he never pronounces a name right on any programme.
Go on, have a bash.
Chiellini.
Yeah,
you don't say it loud, nobody knows.
Yeah, exactly. Forget it. I'm looking at this one. I'm going to go Hearts 1-0.
I think Hearts will win 2-1.
Hearts 2-1 for me.
You've been looking at my
why am I so
results.
far behind?
Yeah, why? Because you keep copying everybody. Motherwell against St Mirren. Motherwell, 3 of their last 4 league games this season in the bag with maximum points. Mm-hmm. I still think they're going to finish top 4. I'm now swaying heavily towards 3rd, but I'm waiting to see how Aberdeen respond over the next couple of months.
I think they'll finish in the top 6.
Yeah, you're really brave with that line, aren't you?
I do, but they had a disappointing last result at home against Ross County. But I can't see St Mirren getting anything. I think Motherwell will be too strong for them.
What are you going for?
2-0.
2-0 here. I'm
going to reverse what I usually say here. St Mirren are due a win.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be this hard. But I've got a funny feeling.
Yeah, 3 weeks
really
from Tuesday.
I've got a funny feeling about this Saturday, but I think they're going to get beat 2-1. No, I'm just...
You just wasted 30 seconds.
I know, but it's my result I'm least happy with, because I think it could go the opposite.
So why don't you go? Why don't you go the other way?
Because I'm so far behind already, I can't take a chance.
You're supposed to go with your gut instinct. Ross County against St Johnstone. I can't work this one out. 3-game unbeaten run for Ross County, so I'm sticking with them at home 2-0.
No, just what you says to Ruffy there. I'm going with my gut here. I think St Johnstone are going to go up there and win.
Oh, yeah, dancer, another 3 points. Yeah. That's another 3 or 4 points. I'm going to be ahead with that one. That's good.
Well, I'm going to settle for a draw.
A draw? Okay, there you are. Good one, Ruffy. Okay. Have we done them all? I think we've done them all. I think we've actually nailed every one of them. Rather worryingly, I think that the last point we've got to make is we don't want to see any clubs fall by the wayside, head into administration. Scott Gardner said there's no rich saviour for Cali Thistle. Administration is a real possibility. I mean, it was a great programme yesterday. Tam Cowan said, you know, why don't we all go up there and do a sports dinner for them? I think it needs much more than that from people. It needs somebody with huge investment. Yeah,
it does. It's a club that I always enjoyed going up to. The people round about the club were really welcoming, and it's sad to see, but I'm hopeful that there'll be somebody out there that's got a few pound to go and help them.
Yeah, good club, Ruffy, and just that pain of coming out of the Premiership is there for all to see.
Yeah, it's a lovely stadium, and I have to emphasise that the people are nice people, very welcoming when you go up there. So let's hope they come up with something. There might be supporters, maybe the supporters have to bail them out again like some of the other clubs.
Yeah, I've got a good team, good manager.
Yeah, listen, I think Robbo deserves another shot at a big job as well. But first and foremost, we'd like to see Inverness Cali Thistle back on stable footing financially. Let's hope someone, a knight in shining armour, comes to the rescue. Anyway, who knows how the points will go? You'll have to join us on Monday to see how our head-to-head pans out. But if you're going to a game, then by all means enjoy it, act sensibly and go home safely. Support your team, and remember, this weekend is Show Racism the Red Card. Lots of players getting behind it. It's a 2-week campaign. I think it should be 52 weeks of the year. Quite simply, we should all be treated equally, and there certainly shouldn't be abuse at any player for race, creed, colour, religion, you name it. We should all be able to behave when we go to a football match and not subject any individual to abuse. Bear that in mind when you're going to a football match. If you want to share anything positive with us, you can. As you can see, all our social media there, not only in Facebook Live, we've got Twitter, we've got Instagram and YouTube, and details coming up of our podcast next week, which hopefully you will buy into big time. Thank you very much for joining us. Thanks to Ruffy, to Barry, and from myself, Peter Martin. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Have a great weekend.
Expect the best used car deals guaranteed. Visit arnoldclark.com.